Satnam, welcome everyone. Welcome to Warriorship webinar event. Thanks so much for being here with me, and I think we're going to have a beautiful time together. I think we're going to have a powerful time together. We're going to do some really transporting practices today. We're going to do some beautiful, beautiful meditation today. And my primary objective for this experience together and for this class with you is that we do something that gives us an experience. This is one thing to talk about warriorship. I know many of you have been listening or watching the videos that we've released in the last couple of weeks. And all those videos are out if you haven't watched them yet. Joy of the Infinite video series, and so they're available through the weekend if you want to visit them, and I recommend it. This concept of warriorship, of the yogi warrior, is profound, and at its heart, what it is about upgrading caliber, because everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to live with a genuine happiness. Not everyone has the caliber of happiness. It's not a problem that we want happiness. Everybody desires happiness. Everybody desires love. Everybody desires fearlessness. Everybody desires all the virtues. Very few people are able to cultivate the condition that gives rise to those virtues coming alive in them and maintaining themselves consistently within your body and within your mind. That's the heart of warriorship. That is the heart of it, because what it requires is that at some point you draw a line in the sand. At some point you do something powerful enough that weeds out the non-supportive habits in your life and gives them less strength. We're not going to be unrealistic and say we don't have any non-supportive habits in our lives, but gives them less strength, because the majority of what we're doing every day, the majority of our day every day, is based on our habits. So the warrior understands, the yogi understands, that if they want to make substantial shifts and changes in their lives, you can't address the life at the level of the mind, at the level of your thoughts, because once something becomes a thought, it is already too far along in the process to make any sort of substantial change. So therefore you have to adjust, you have to transform at a much more subtle and much more substantive part of yourself that gives rise to your thoughts. The part of you, the operating system that is giving rise to how you think. And when you can change the operating system that is generating the habitual ways of thinking and change that from the negative into the positive, or whatever the case may be, whatever is needed for that individual, for you, then you can do something potent. And so this heart of warriorship is not about, let me say it this way, the quality of your life and the enjoyment of life doesn't have much to do with intentions. Most of us know this by this point. The quality of life and the enjoyment of life has a lot more to do with your non-negotiables, with the quality of your non-negotiables that you've put in place in your life. Non-negotiables are areas where you draw the line in the sand. I'm no longer allowing myself to indulge in my worries and indulge in fears and indulge in this insecurity tendencies, or indulge in these melancholy tendencies that keep arising in the mind. It's the ability to create non-negotiables to where you create a type of a shield But it's not a shield made of metal. It's a shield that is coming from the pranic force of the body that gives the mind great caliber and gives the mind the ability to make decisions based on your intent, based on what you would like for yourself, as opposed to being dominated by the habitual worries, being dominated by the fears, and being dominated by all of the other neuroses that may be arising in your life based on who knows what. We all have our stories. So it sounds beautiful, doesn't it? But somehow or another, we actually have to give ourselves the type of experience that will give us the possibility, that will cultivate the capacity to create genuine non-negotiables for ourselves. So we can say that this is what I'm about. I'm not about this. This is what I'm about. And I'm going to stand for that. And I'm going to embody that. And I'm going to live that in my life. That's warriorship. That is the heart of warriorship. Now, it's sophisticated. There's a science to it. There's a art to it. In fact, it's at least as much of an art as it is a science. And if you're going to approach this thing, you will have to approach it partly as a scientist, but probably more so as an artist, keeping your mind open, not being too rigid in the thinking, being able to embrace paradox, being able to allow the mind to enter into the space of subtlety so that we can enter into the realm of the yogi, the warrior, the yogini warrior. This is where I'd like to go with you today. So we're going to tune in just a moment, and we're going to dive right into the practices, and I'm going to share with you some things of warriorship, and I'm going to share with you about this brand new course, this new training that comes out this coming Tuesday, that is Joy of the Infinite. It's what I think, we have many courses. I think this is, in terms of its transformative power, I think this may be our most important one yet. It is designed to do that one thing, to create a type of society, like a celestial, subtle society of warriors, yogis, yoginis around the globe, who are drawing the line in the sand, and they're warrioring for themselves. They're warrioring for their families. They're warrioring for consciousness. They're warrioring for the truth, for what is real, for what is good, for what is kind, for what is love. So this is the direction that we're going. Very potent exercise set we're going to do here in just a moment. And very beautiful, blissful meditation we're going to do together to give us the possibility of entering into this majestic space that you are created from. Not only is it possibility of embodying that space of blissfulness, you are created from that space. So it's just about clearing out the clutter and clearing away the obstructions so that you once again, this is who I am. The heart is held high, the eyes shine bright, the presence shines and has a good warmth of the heart. And this is the warrior, the carrying the flame of warmth, of kindness, of love, and of truth. So please bring your hands into the prayer pose. I know some of you may be brand new to Kundalini Yoga, and if so, I'm so happy you're here. Others, you may be seasoned practitioners. I'm so happy you are here as well. We're all going to just dive in together. If you are newer, we'll just go on the ride. I won't explain everything from the ground up for this class. We have courses on that, trainings on that. For today, just jump in, dive in, give yourself the experience and enjoy it. Anything that's not quite clear, just whatever, just keep going and don't worry about it. We'll get to it later. Okay, thanks so much for being here. I'm very, very happy and very joyful to be here with you this morning. This morning here I am in California, and I'm feel very privileged to be doing these, sharing these teachings with you, and to be going into these practices with you. I feel very grateful to even have access to these practices, let alone share them with others. So thank you, and let's tune in. Let's give our mind the clarity it needs so we can live our lives with a purpose and with happiness. Let's give our bodies the vitality it needs so it can carry us along on our missions. And let's give our heart the openness and the vulnerability and the warmth it needs in order for us to understand and to feel what life is really all about. Bring your hands to prayer pose. Inhale deep. Exhale deep. Palms are pressed together. Lift through your heart. Knuckles into your sternum. Shoulder blades are dropped. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And again, please deeply inhale. And you're going to lift up through your root lock, Mula Bandha, rectum, sex organ, the perineum area, up and in the navel, which is just below your belly button, slightly up and in. Keep the breath in, keep the heart lifted. And then exhale completely. And hold the breath out for just a moment. Hold the breath out and meditate the gaze, the third eye. Inhale deeply. Good. Suspend the breath in and bring your two eyes up and into the one space of the third eye where the root of your nose meets the skull bone. There lies the human gateway to the infinite. And exhale. And keep the gaze in that space. Let your breath now, just for a few moments, flow naturally. Hands are firmly pressed into a prayer pose, neutralizing the life force in the body. Let the breath just flow naturally for a few moments. And keep the relaxed gaze up in between where the two eyebrows would meet. And as you become distracted, just simply relax your gaze back into that space. Hold the heart up high. Drop the shoulder blades and the palms together, helping to coordinate the two hemispheres of the brains, encouraging glandular secretion. It's called cultivating the condition for awakening. There's nothing that needs to happen other than just make the adjustment. There's been a short circuit in this way. There's been a balloon fused in this way. So we're going to push this lever over here and push this lever over here. And once all your wiring is firing properly and functioning optimally, then you don't have to do anything. What you genuinely are, which is beyond the beyond, will start to come alive inside of you. You're not changing the belief system. It had nothing to do with anyone's religion or anything like that. It's just human being, fingers, toes, tongue, glands, hair, all the different things. You're an instrument, you're a vehicle of consciousness. The warrior recognizes that and then uses the instrument to activate and awaken consciousness within themselves. Inhale deep. Exhale deep. We're going to tune in, vibrating Ong, O-N-G, Ong, to vibrates the skull, vibrates the pituitary gland. Namo from the heart center means I make myself an instrument for Ong, the infinite energy. Namo, I make myself an instrument for that. Gurudev, the destroyer of darkness, Gurudev, that brings us into the light and gives us awareness and allows us to see what is real versus what is unreal. And Gurudev Namo, I make my whole being an instrument for that infinite master love energy. Inhale deep. Exhale deep. Inhale. Gurudev No. Okay, here we go. You ready? Please, you're coming. If you're sitting on the floor, you're cross-legged. You're going to bring your hands to your shins or your ankles. Those of you who are sitting on a chair, you can do this as well. Ideally, sit on the floor, but most important is to find a way to be relatively comfortable so you can focus on the practice. So sitting on a chair is fine. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor. Hands are on your lap. Everyone should have their shoes and socks off. And your hands are like antenna for the energy of the heavens, and your feet and toes are like antenna for the earth. So doing yoga with socks on is like listening to music with earplugs. You ready? Let's do this. Hands are on your shins or ankles. And chin is in, chest is lifted. You're going to inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale back, just like that. It's the spinal flexes. Or for the kids, they call it the camel ride. You're going to inhale through your lifting forward, inhale forward, but you're also lifting through your chest. Chin stays in, head stays stable. You're going to inhale, exhale. Good. It's loosening up the spine. Eyes and gaze into your third eye. When the two becomes one, when the two eyes become one, then you enter the kingdom. From the gospel, the Thomas gospel, yeah? When the male becomes female, when good becomes bad and bad becomes good. That's the neutralizing center. Third eye gaze, keep up. And the breath is strong. It's not a super long breath, but it's deep, strong. Good, ride the rhythm. Powerful breathing, relaxed mind, relaxed face. Even if you have to fake it, you fake it and you'll make it. Relax the mind, relax the face, power the breathing. It's that dynamic combination of powerful and relaxed. Powerful and relaxed. Third eye gaze. Keep up. Yeah, 15 seconds to go. Full focus. Come alive. Breathe deep and strong. Now deeply inhale. Straighten the spine. Chest is out, chin is in, shoulders back. And pull the root lock up rectum, sex organ, navel up and in. Meditate the third eye. And bring your under tongue and press it against your upper palate. And exhale. Bueno. It's one thing to say, the warrior doesn't indulge in the worries and fears. You know what the one ingredient that is required for fearlessness? What is the one ingredient required for fearlessness? Is it courage? Is it love? Is it awakened consciousness? Those things will help. The one ingredient that is required for fearlessness, of course, is fear. So the difference between the yogi warrior and the average individual is not an absence of fear. It's that they have the capacity to feel fear and then utilize that fear to propel them forward on their mission. Whereas fear for many people has a paralyzing effect. It stops them. And partly because we don't have the capacity to feel it in a way without triggering our subconscious resistance. So how do you cultivate the conditions, already we've begun, that will give you the capacity to obtain and experience genuine fearlessness? Bring your hands to your shoulders, fingers in front, thumbs in back, heart wide open, heart center wide open. And you're gonna open the central channel. You're gonna inhale left, exhale right. Like deep breathing, spinal twist, opening, breathe. Those of you who are Kundalini yoga practitioners and done these exercises many times, it requires you even more concentration because it's easy for you to phone it in. But what I'm asking you all to do is to breathe deep, to open up the inner channel of the body through which your primary, your essential, your supreme life force can move. Open, breathe, inhaling left, exhaling right, deep breath, meditative gaze, and keep up. Keep up and keep up. Good. 20 seconds to go. Concentrate. Renew your commitment to the gaze of the third eye. Center your deepest inhale. Lift the root lock. Look at the third eye. Push the underside of your tongue up against the roof of your mouth. Exhale. Perfect. Okay, are you next one? Hands on your knees. And you're gonna shoulder shrugs. Alright, shoulder shrugs is I love them. Release the tension, upper back, shoulders, neck. Heart lifted up. Every exhale, release the shoulders. Inhale up, exhale, release. Like that, okay? Squeeze up. Exhale, release. Good, now just begin rolling the neck. Relax jaw, relax tongue, relax mind. Consciously relaxing the mind. Go the other direction, please. what warriorship is all about, inhale to the center, is learning how to draw your life force into the mission of your life. If you've got a mind, you've got a mission. And if the mission is not become the central pivot of your life, your supreme kind of center, purpose, you can't go find a mission. You can't go find a purpose. You are your mission. You are your purpose. So this idea of going to find a purpose is often misunderstood because you can't go get it. You actually have to just awaken yourself to the point where it's absolutely apparent. So we're not going outside of ourselves. We're not changing anything. All that yoga is about, all it is about is to clear the obstructions from who you really are. And who you really are is beautiful. And who you really are is powerful. And who you really are is majestic. But in between the current experience of yourself and what you really are is what's called the subconscious muck and mud. And so we have to, that's the process of the warriors to cut through the subconscious density so you experience the reality of yourself. Now, in order to do that, and you'll find in this Joy of the Infinite training course that comes out on Tuesday, the heart of that training and the heart of warrior training is death training. Because what is underlying all your other fears is the root fear, the fear of death, that one day you won't exist anymore. Well, we understand as yogis, as humans, that there is a part of me that actually existed before this body. And then at some point this body's all going to be said and done. But there's a part of me that's going to continue on. And so the greatest asset of a warrior is they have practiced the dying process. They've taken the greatest of all fears and they've looked it straight on and they've fallen in love. So to the warrior yogi, death, D-E-A-T-H, is their ally. It's their closest advisor. It's like a lighthouse that brings awareness and brings illumination to all that you need to know in your life. Because immediately, just with the thought of death, when it no longer strikes a deep fear within the mind, it concentrates your life force into the center of yourself. Normally, life force is being diluted out in the periphery. It's going this way, it's going that way. We're worried about this, we're worried about that. But when you stop indulging in those things through the good practice, because you've just fallen in love so much that those things don't have the time of day, the life force concentrates. Now you have so much more energy to work with what was previously being eaten up by fear. So in this training, the heart of it and the vast majority of the course itself is actually step by step, meditatively as well as philosophically. Philosophically meaning the teachings, not this is our philosophy, but yogis know very well all of the phases of dying. What happens first, what happens next, and then what happens at this point, and how when the 5 elements that make up your body, earth dissolves into water, and water dissolves into fire, and fire dissolves into air, and air dissolves into space, emptiness. Now, if a person had never cultivated subtlety in their life through meditation practice, through good yoga or something comparable, and then all of a sudden, all of us are on our way there. We're all going to experience that subtlety. You have become completely subtle and completely clairvoyant because the tattvas, the 5 elements, have dissolved, which is what the first stage of dying happens. Now all of a sudden, that could be profoundly disorienting. So therefore, you practice it now. You practice the process. And then what happens then? How does the mind actually look at the life? And how do you make the... See, here's the most important part of it, and the most beautiful part of it to me, is that the same thing that you do when you practice death prepares you to live most efficiently and most effectively and most beautifully. If you've not yet begun to learn how to die well, you have not yet learned how to live well. The two are hand in hand. Preparation for dying isn't preparation for some future event. Although it is a preparation for some future event that we all will go through at some period of time. You see how it works? As soon as you even begin this topic, it brings all the energy to the center. Yeah, and it shows you what's important in life and what's not important. The warrior yogi meditates on death daily in order to bring their life force and show their mind what is actually important versus what is seemingly important. When what is seemingly important becomes real to you, but is actually an illusion, we get emotional. We're distracted. We're not ourselves. As soon as you begin meditating on the end of your finite existence, this body feels like us. It is us. It seems so substantial, And it is you for the time being. It's a vehicle you're traveling in. So to live right today requires the right relationship with it. And it's easy enough to understand it philosophically, but it's a whole nother thing altogether to actually adjust the consciousness's relationship with the body at the deepest, most subtle levels. That takes great practice. That takes powerful practices. And that's what the full course is all about. And that's what we're going to do here in just a moment. It's just a taste of it. But it's to go over many weeks of actually training yourself to give the experience of what is infinite inside of you. And when the part of you that is non-dying becomes the most important part of you to your psyche, to your awareness, that's called Kundalini. That's the awakening of what it means to be a human, the light of the mind. Human. Man is mind. Hu is light. That's the essence of the training. That's the foundations of warriorship. Deathlessness. Traveling the blue ethers. And then going through rebirthing in your new exalted identity of what you are. And stabilizing that exalted identity. That's your operating system, is your deep identity. But before you can build a new identity that cuts the worry indulgences and cuts out the fears, first you have to die, so to speak. You have to kill off, so to speak, these old habits and the residue of old habits that have been there for years upon years upon years, and from the yogi's mind, lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes. You with me? So that's a profound training, and you can imagine it takes some time. But let's do this Kriya. Okay, and we're going to use the great mantra, the great deathlessness mantra. Kal Akal. These are like warrior ballads. That's what I hear when I hear them. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. It's a very interesting Kriya. And I think you'll love it. But if this is newer to you, just hang in there, because it's gonna probably be something unlike you've ever done before. Eyes in this meditation, there's 3 exercises. This is exercise set. And eyes on all 3 of these are tip of your nose. So your eyes go down, tip of your nose. You sometimes feel like it's creating a little tension and pressure. That's good, actually. When the eyes go tip of the nose, it causes equal and opposite pressure on your pituitary gland, which is the physical correspondent to your ajna, your third eye point. That causes your pituitary gland to secrete into the blood. That causes your life force to concentrate. It's beautiful. So eyes tip of the nose, your mouth is going to be in an O shape, and you're going to do like this. It's not a across the lips, it's more like a deep breath. You know there's a panting breath with your tongue out? This breath is like you're panting, but your tongue's not out. You have a puckered O-shaped mouth, and you're going. I'm just turning my head so it's not too loud in your ears. Okay, and here's the exercise. You take your hands, and you twist your hands. It's going to adjust your meridian, your pranic system. Your hands are open as they are out, and as I twist towards you, the hands come into fists. It's a 3-minute exercise, okay? You have to work hard to do this well. Eyes tip of the nose and go. It may have a little pain in the wrists as you're adjusting yourself, and begin. Keep up. It's powerful breath in the chest, like a panting breath. Good, keep going. Powerful breathing. Tip of the nose gaze. It'll make your pituitary secrete. You'll see. Keep going. Go through the pressure of it. It will pressurize you, but if you can keep up, you'll move through that threshold and you'll experience something beautiful. Keep up. Less than a minute to go. Gaze the tip of the nose, powerful breath, and go. Rhythm. Seconds, keep up. Now through the mouth, inhale deeply. Squeeze your hands into fists. And squeeze your spine and lift through the rectum, sex organ, navel. Look at the third eye, close the eyes, squeeze the entire fabric of your body. Distribute the energy you've just activated. Squeeze tight, tight. Then like a cannon through the mouth, forcefully exhale. 2 more times, inhale deep. Bend the breath, tighten the fists, tighten the spine, lift the root lock, squeeze out the toxins, squeeze the body. Exhale. Inhale. tight. Squeeze tight. Exhale. Relax. Meditate. You can feel her deathlessness in the singing, in the song, in the vibe, in the soul. And this is the supreme release valve. What do you do with all the uncertainty of life? What do you do with all the worries? What do you do with all the fears? What do you do with the sadness and the great pain? You've got to have this mind connected to the master mind. This heart connected to the master heart. Without that connectivity, there's nowhere for it to go. And it circulates inside of you and it overpowers the mission of the life. So that's what the yogis do, is say, Maha Akal, Akal Mood. They vibrate the mantra to give the mind the direction that brings it peace and happiness and love. Not superficial happiness. Happiness that's very substantial. And it doesn't wax and wane depending on if we have a good day or a bad day, if we have a pain in our lives, joy in our lives. And when you cultivate that condition, even the pain in the life causes you to fall deeper in love, more devotion. Bring your hands, this is a very powerful exercise. What you're going to do is you're going to push, leading with the heel of your palm, same breath, same tip of the nose gaze, you're going to push, and you go like this. It's very firm. It's like almost like you're going to break a wood. You should feel like you're pushing something away from you. And what might you push away from you? That which you do not need. That which is no longer serving you. Okay? So you're going to do that with the same breath, same tip of the nose gaze, okay? Here we go. 3 minutes. Ready? Here we go. Begin. I'm just moving the mic so I don't hit it. And we've begun. Go. Back of the throat, chest breath. Just like that. Keep going, keep going. Keep the energy up. Keep going. Powerful breathing. Tip of the nose gaze. Push all of the old habits, all of the same stuff that keeps taking away our energy. We keep doing it over and over, regardless of our good intentions. What do we need to push away out of our lives? The habits, perhaps the people, whatever the case may be, but powerfully move. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Tip tip of the nose gaze, puckered, rounded mouth. Kal is time. Akal means no time. Kal is death. Akal means deathless, infinite. Go, powerful, breathe, move, go, go, go. Push, push. Keep it moving. 1 minute left. You'll have to work hard to do this. Keep going. Now inhale deep, left arm out, right arm back. Connect the root lock, rectum, sex organ, navel, up and in. Squeeze the spine, make the hands into like bear claws. Squeeze the body, squeeze the spine. Squeeze tight, tight, tight. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze. Squeeze tight, tight. One more. Squeeze. Squeeze the spine. Lift the root lock so it shakes you. Squeeze. Squeeze. And relax. Meditate. Last exercise, and then we'll do this beautiful meditation, and then that'll be that. So bring yourself same posture, same gaze. Typically, I must say this is my favorite of the three. Sends tremendous energy through the heart center. Your hands are, the fingers not touching, but they're also not tight and stiff. So just like this. Elbows are slightly bent, arms out to the side, elbows just slightly bent. You're going to go backwards circles. In that same breath, same tip of the nose gaze, 3 minutes. You're circulating, moving the life force prana. Okay? Let's open up your heart. Clear the central channel of the spine through which the energy of life moves. Energy of deathless, infinite energy moves. Okay? This is where we go. You ready? 3 minutes. Here we go. Begin. Puckered O-shaped mouth. Tip of the nose gaze. Powerfully move. Powerfully move. Keep up. Eyes on the tip of the nose. It will open the third eye. If you gaze at tip of the nose, puts the equal opposite pressure on the frontal lobe. When the energy is concentrated in the reptilian part of the brain, you're emotional, you're reactive, you're out of yourself. When the energy moves into the frontal brain, the evolutionary center of the human, you become intuitive yourself, you're guided, you're no longer emotionally reactive. Keep up. It's very simple, but it takes hard work to actually make the adjustment. Are you willing to do what's hard? And all of life becomes easy. But if you have to be on the front end, willing to do what's difficult, willing to do what's uncomfortable, so that you can give yourself the caliber of enjoyment. And keep going, almost there. 30 seconds, go. Energy. Move your life force. Inhale deep. Spread your fingers wide and tight. And stick your tongue out to the max. Stretch your tongue. Stretch your tongue. Stretch the base of your tongue. Fingers tight. Squeeze the spine. Squeeze the whole body. Stretch out the tongue. Squeeze. Then powerfully exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Squeeze the body. Tight. Squeeze. Stretch the tongue out to the maximum. Squeeze so it shakes you. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze. Squeeze. Tight. Tight. Exhale. Just for a couple of minutes, meditate. If you feel like lying down, you can. About 2 minutes. And so for our final meditation, it's not very long today. It's very powerful. To develop fearlessness and conquer fear of death, if you to practice it regularly. And even if you can't join us for the full training that begins Tuesday. I hope you'll use some of this, and this would be something you could do every day. You take this closed lotus mudra, it's called, where your thumb tips and your fingertips all come together, and then the palm side of the hand facing up. Your upper arms are against your rib cage, and the arms are out from the body at a 60-degree angle. And your eyes are going to meditate at the third eye again. And in this meditation, you're using the mantra Satnam, but broken down into its 4 parts. That's be Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Sa, Ta. It's called the Pancha Shabad because it's the 5 sounds. Satanama Ah. And the energy, the sounds govern the 5 elements that make up all of life, human life: earth, water, fire, air, earth. These are the elements that make up your body. And at the time of death, these are what will dissolve. And while you're in your body, these what give you life and either give you vitality or they give you stress. Depending on the life force condition, they'll either give you enjoyment, medicine, or they become more like poison. So this harmonizes these 5 great elements, purifies them so they secrete their nectars. Your hands are like this. What you're going to do is inhale deeply, and then you exhale completely. And push all the breath out and keep the breath out. And with the breath out, you vibrate silently. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. And then you inhale. And then you exhale completely. And then you do the mantra 4 times. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na. And then you inhaling and keep going. And exhale completely. And suspend, lock your breath out and vibrate that mantra 4 repetitions. It means birth, life, death, rebirth. And when your breath is held out, you pull your navel point, rectum, sex organ up and in. And you're from your third eye vibrating. Ta, na, ma, sa. Da, na, ma. Sa, da, na, ma. Sa, da, na, ma. Sa, da, na, ma. Sa, da, na. Inhale. You're vibrating it silently. I'm just doing it out loud to guide you. Exhale.
Satyanarayan Vaheguru Hari Narayan Satyanarayan.
Keep your meditative mind, keep your body steady, just a little bit to go.
Satyanarayan Vaheguru Hari Narayan Satyanarayan. Satyanarayan Vaheguru Hari Narayan Satyanarayan.
Inhale deep.
Satyanarayan
Completely exhale.
Vaheguru
Keep the breath suspended out. And raise your gaze to your third eye. And be like an emptied vessel. Imagine you're like an emptied instrument for the divine. Inhale deep. Exhale. Push all the breath out. Meditate the third eye. Become like an emptied vessel. Inhale deep. Exhale deep. Like an emptied vessel.
Satyanarayan Vaheguru
Inhale
Hari
and relax.
Narayan Satyanarayan.
This is wonderful, isn't it? That's all it really is. And then you see, this is why I love it, is it doesn't, it doesn't require anything. It's just, can you breathe? You have fingers, you have toes. It's not telling anyone what to believe. It's just saying, okay, if you get the life energy in the body to move in this particular way, it'll bring great joy to the life. It'll bring great love to the life. And so, like there's a main exercise set as part of the warriorship course. It's called Joy of the Infinite, because the greatest achievement of every warrior is to experience the joy of infinity consistently in their life. Joy of the infinite. And so, in order to first begin, you have to bring the fire up in the belly, bring the energy up at the navel point. And so it's a very, very powerful exercise set that you would do every day. And the way the course works is it releases the first week, you get 2 modules, the first 2 modules. The first module is called Foundations of Warriorship, and the second module is Deathlessness, Part 1. And immediately, and then the next week you get module 3, and the week after that, module 4. But every day during the training, there's the practice you're doing. And you're doing this exercise set that fills the body with energy, brings incredible clarity to the mind. And then you're doing the meditation on top of that. And then in the modules, you're doing the actual death meditations, conquering death meditations, as you're going through the classes. But then every day, throughout the duration of the 6 to 8 weeks that it takes you to get through the course, in the mornings, you're doing this warriorship practices. Because let's be real about it. If you're actually to actually get the results of something like this, you can't just do it an hour a week. It have to be something consistent you're doing daily. The classes themselves may take only an hour a week, but then the practice that you implement and you do every single day. Now, when you get the course, even if you can't start like this Tuesday when the course first 2 modules are released, it's fine. It's just waiting for you when you can get it. Once you get it, it's yours. You have indefinite access to it. And so then second module is Deathlessness Part 1. And then the third is Deathlessness Part 2. It's called Traveling the Blue Ethers. You go through this whole thing. The yogic teachings are very sophisticated in their understanding of the process. And then module 4 is the rebirthing. Now, if you've kind of died, so to speak, in the best possible way, you have to rebuild the identity. And the identity is the most important part. In a certain way, this exalted sense, cultivating an exalted sense of what you are, because your sense of what you are, not on just the thinking mind level, but like what do the cells of your body believe you to be, deep down within the subconscious, creating the exalted sense of what you are, not through philosophy, but through your actual experience, you experiencing through the practices of the course the taste of infinity. You actually have an experience of it. And when you have experience of it, nothing can ever take that away from you. And your identity is built upon that. And with this exalted sense of what you are, that changes the flow of thought, which changes the vibration, the frequency of your feeling, which changes the frequency of your desires, which changes your life. You now are desiring different types of things. You're desiring things that make you brighter, make you stronger, make you more of what you are, that moves your life's mission forward. And then module 5 is called Transforming the 5 Poisons. And so you're going to live in life, all you have to deal with is 5 important things: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And either those elements will cause you pain, or those elements will give you great energy. They either secrete poisons or they secrete nectars. Module 5 is called Transforming the 5 Poisons into the 5 Nectars. It's the science of yogic warriorship. And then the final module is called the Warrior Code, where you're actually going into the code of the yogi warrior. And you'll choose in that moment whether to take on the warriorship yogi code for yourself, something you live by. It's where you put your non-negotiables in place. This is what I am. This is what I'm about. And I've cultivated the energy to be about it, not just talk, but life, embodied presence, aura, mind. And that's it. And then there's the 2 bonus classes for everyone who joins in, where you get what's called 1,000 Midnights, which is based on the teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and spiritual activism. It's a spiritual activism course. When our days become dark and dreary, like with low hovering clouds, darker than 1,000 midnights, he said, we will know that at that moment we're experiencing the creative turmoil of a genuine civilization trying to be born. That was from his Nobel Peace Prize speech, and it's as relevant in this moment as it was then. And so this is spiritual activism, 1,000 Midnights class, yoga class. And then the other bonus class, just exclusively for the students of Joy of the Infinite warriorship course, is called it's like warriorship communication, disarming the adversary, how you use warriorship yogic principles, communication, to communicate and disarm heated energy in difficult and triggered conversations. There's plenty of those these days, isn't there? Very useful, very valuable stuff. And that's it. And then also, anyone who joins, they get free tuition to our next year's Immersion Life Force Formula Immersion. An incredible experience event and all of that. So the info's here down below on the page. And You can, if you join now, you get incredible entrance price. It's you'll see it's highly discounted for this for right now if you jump in. And the course starts Tuesday though, so. And like I said, if you can't begin Tuesday, that's fine, but you got to get it before then. And then it'll be waiting for you when you're ready. It's potent, life-transforming. This is not just an ordinary course. This is a life-changing thing. And so I encourage you, if there's any way. You can also, there's a payment plan. If for any reason you aren't able to do the full thing right now, there's a payment plan. We'll have that under here as well. And you can, I don't remember what it is. I think it's just like 3 payments once a month over the next 3 months, something like that. And also, anyway, we always have this for all our stuff. If you get our courses and for some reason you decide it's not for you, or for whatever reason, you just email our team and they give you 100% refund, as long as it's in the first 60 days, 2 months. So it's a pretty cool thing. All right, let's bring our hands to prayer pose and let's seal our class together. Thanks so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Even if you're not doing the full thing, use that meditation that we did and do it for, 11 minutes per day. And this webcast class, you can revisit it through Tuesday as well. And if you haven't been able to watch our Joy of the Infinite video series, those are available through Tuesday as well. All of that. And the course starts Tuesday. That's what's happening. All right, bring your hands to prayer pose. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home, guide your way home, guide your way home. Satnam. I hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. Thanks so much. And hope to be in touch. Keep in touch, please. Would love to hear from you. Okay, Satnam.